Hey guys, welcome back. We're here for another Heroes of Histaeria Sandsea Saga, right here, Delta Cryptid channel. We are doing session 11. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so we are going to resume shortly after you've all returned triumphant to the Frog Grove with knowledge, items, vehicles, and prisoners all in tow. Through various means, you've gathered information from the Yuan-Ti prisoners in your custody. Pym gave a sterling report to Captain Hammond of the Wild Hunt, and it was agreed that he and his crew would be joining you guys in your pursuit of the Black Raptor, a creature that you have learned is the quarry of the lizard folk and Varanya, the Black Storm. Meanwhile, your prisoners were deposited and secured in the Brig of the Wild Hunt, a space usually more used to housing exotic beasts, but functionally capable for your purposes. And while the majority of the party tended to these matters, Captain Lycus D. Stratus had other matters to tend to. After meeting with Talk, his belligerent bugbear, Lycus was drawn to the grave of his former lover, Ramas Odomath. There he discovered a blackened skull that transported him to a gathering of the Brethren Court. He was put on trial by the legendary pirates of the Astral Sea, and there he faced the repercussions for breaking pirate code. After some deliberation, the court voted to offer a probation, and Lycus was granted the means of protecting his crew in the future, and hopefully ensuring that the code need not be tested again. So we are going to pick up as the rest of you are all kind of still preparing to take your long rest. I think Luna was going to be the one on watch. It is just past midnight on May 21st, Luna, for reference, because you would know that innately. But you are all still awake and you can still interact and stuff if you need to. You just let me know when your rest starts.
I think Chris would go find Luna before they start trancing. They would, looking kind of sheepish. Hey there, I'm sorry to bother you.
Is it? I thought you were gonna go in for a rest.
I will be. I just wanted to say that, I'm sorry for assuming. I didn't want to make any assumptions about you. You don't have to think of me as a friend if that's, I assumed when I said that earlier today, and I'm sorry.
No,
Magic, you talking to your mic just a little bit more, please?
It's okay. I'm not used to making friends, so I was just a little surprised. But I would like to keep up this friendship that we have forming. If you
I would too.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not exactly familiar with how it works either, so I'm grateful. I'll leave you alone, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And they'll go settle in.
Okay. Everybody else, Pym, Ednor?
Well, Pym is getting ready to hunker down in the lower level of the ship.
Okay. So you guys are all going to stay in the ship then?
Yeah, I think I'm just sleeping where I slept last time.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can stay there. It is a bit more crowded now. The crew of the Wild Hunt that you have rescued are also, are also lodging here as well, in their own barracks and stuff. But there's still room. There's definitely still room that, three of you easily can find a place to lodge, a place to sleep, with one of you on watch.
I think Pym will just be kind of talking to people as they're settling in, some of the prisoners, and just getting to know them and looking for stories of what they endured.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, so this is like, primarily the Wild Hunts crew. Um, they are a lot of them are exhausted, right? You'd seen them earlier when you rescued them. So a lot of them are resting and recuperating, but there are a few that are, kind of clearly awake. And they are happy to, well, not happy, but they are willing to tell you of time of their captivity. They talk about how Akash would come up and select a person. Either Akash would or the other guy. What was the other guy's
Talode.
name? Talode, yes, or Talode would. And they would be taken to the temple, never be seen from again. So stuff that you kind of heard before.
Yeah. Just making conversation, making everyone feel back at home, and probably playing a little song of rest for everybody.
All right, give us a performance check.
Cool.
At advantage, because you did rescue these people, so they've got a very sympathetic ear right now to whatever you're putting out.
Don't biff it.
Okay, it's a little better. 16.
16, yeah. Yeah, 16, easy enough. They're set at ease. Their recovery seems to be further, moved along by your aid. Ulrich, who is still awake, he's sleeping, but he's waking up occasionally to kind of check on some of his patients, make sure that they're still doing well. Also roused by your playing, because again, it is kind of late.
It's a soothing song.
It's a soothing song,
melody.
yeah. So he is easily approving. He's getting kind of like keeping you in his eyes. Yeah. You just kind of start cranking in. Slam the lute on the edge of the bed.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ulrich also takes. That Ulrich takes notice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of noticing happening.
Every once in a while I'll casually kind of trot over. I'm kind of dancing around and playing this tune, and I'll linger by him and kind of play in his face, and then trot off.
First time you do that, he can't contain it. He blushes, right? And as you're kind of backing off, Cassius and Mello, two of his crewmates, start kind of howling, woo, and clapping and stuff like that. And he goes from kind of like a light pink to just like flush, as he is embarrassed. His hands are shaking as he is moving his instruments from patient to patient. But yeah.
Okay.
He's still at work.
I would like to talk to Ulrich, but
Sure, you can.
No? Okay.
Yeah, you can. He's not going to approach. He's
Yeah.
You can tell he's shy, but if you would like to approach, by all means.
So I wrap up my song and give a little bow, and I kind of just mosey over to where Ulrich is, if he's tending to someone, and I just say, "You have quite the way with the healing arts, don't you, Ulrich?"
Yeah, you could say that. Read a lot, Yeah.
What do you like to read?
I guess mostly, medicine books, stuff that I can, use to help out around here. A few different books on different animals and things that, when the captain brings aboard.
That's cool.
Yeah. How are you? You just came back. You rescued my crew. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do it alone, that's for sure. It was
you guys are cool.
Wow, I've never been called cool before. Thank you.
He looks a little shocked. Like genuinely. Yeah. Well, were you hurt? Are you okay?
I was for a minute there, but that potion you gave me really saved my butt.
Oh, and just like goes even more red. Oh, glad it helped.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to say thanks. And, you're doing really great work here with these folks. Do you think that they'll be up for going back out soon?
How soon?
When is the above table? When is the? It's just like as soon as possible. The hunt is like already on, right? For
The
that
hunt is
black
kind
raptor.
of in progress already. Yeah.
Well, as soon as possible. There's something out there that we need to take care of, and we could use as many people as we can get.
And you see him get a little bit more serious now. Is it another hunt?
Not exactly.
All right.
It's more of a just a small mission to go and get the sun sails. The sun sails and the thing.
Roll
Machine
a
suit.
deception check at advantage.
Advantage, all right.
The thing.
He's into you. He's into you.
Think of this
that's
stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That'll be a total of 24.
Yeah. Oh. Well, that doesn't sound too bad. If you're going after some kind of creature, that could be dangerous. Those things can be deadly, but you just, I guess,
Nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Well, I'd like to give him at least 3 days to rest, but if you're not going out too far and you're just, I guess, cleaning up salvage, whoever volunteers, I'll say they can go with you. But if
Okay.
some of them decide they want to stay because they want to get better, that's on them.
Totally
That's
fair. I'll never force someone to stay. I mean to go. But I think it's gonna be a fun adventure, and I think a lot of people are gonna want to come. So I just don't want you to have to be the bad guy, and be like, oh, doctor's orders, gotta rest.
Well,
Nobody wants to be that guy.
I think I'm proud to be that guy. I gotta look after my family. These guys are my family. This is the least I could do for them. I can't be out there hunting down lions and wrestling bears and stuff like Cassius. So I can at least put them back together when they come home.
Well, I used to say that about myself too. I didn't think I was the type to go out and do things like this, but you never know who you're going to become.
Yeah, I guess. All right.
Anyway, let's get some rest.
So he goes back to cleaning up his stuff, taking it back out of the crew quarters and back towards the sick bay. Edenor, you up to anything, bud?
Edenor is actually going to set up his little tent right next to the girls' tent.
Okay.
So he's just going to park right outside there.
Yeah, so actually the girls...
and they're in north, they're a little bit up, right?
Yeah, but they've been also granted like a lodge, like one of the Gripply huts.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So they're in like more like a shelter structure, not just a tent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you can set up next to that, or if you wanted to go in, up to you.
Yeah, I'll settle in.
Okay. So settling and joining them inside the hut.
Yep.
All right. You get in, and immediately you can tell that it's kind of smelly. It smells like wet dirt. It smells like churned earth. It's got a very... This is kind of strange because it does actually feel kind of damp in here. And the floor is soft and squishy as it's made of mud mostly. There are kind of hardened ledges that seem to function as beds. At least that's what the girls are resting on. There are some Gripply in here who are also sleeping. and they are kind of like huddled together, kind of in like fetal positions, like up next to each other, just kind of laying on a kind of like a bed of dried grasses, weeds, fronds from palm trees and ferns. So
Let's take a mental note. Gripply snuggle when they sleep. I see. And then I go and get on one of the ledges.
okay, yeah, you're a bit big, so it's like it's a tight fit, but you're able to kind of like
I just
shuffle
curl
in.
up, you know.
Yeah,
Little
so
safety
kind of,
ball.
yeah, it's so you are able to. I'm assuming you're taking off your armor.
No.
Okay, keeping the armor on.
Yeah.
Right. Roll a stealth check at disadvantage for me.
You're like, I hate that DM question, actually. I think.
I insist on my armor.
My armor is home.
I've learned too many times. Okay.
5e doesn't have it if you sleep with your armor.
I think there is a rule. Button, can you confirm if there's a rule about exhaustion for
I
sleeping
think you have to roll for exhaustion. Oh my god, I'm so tangled up. I will Google it. I think you can roll to avoid it, but let me check.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can roll to avoid it. What did you get for your stealth?
I got a 9.
A 9? Okay.
Yeah.
Phenomenally. Fucking phenomenal. I rolled a natural 1.
Everybody's just dead.
They are so tired. You know, with the heat and the work, they're just
like
exhausted.
Snot bubbles coming out of the Gripply.
Oh yeah. The Gripply are. You know, the other thing too about the Gripply, right, is that they chirp while they sleep, right? So as you're kind of settling in, they're still making a good bit of racket. So you can even hear like just. And as you're kind of settling in, you can even tell that there are also not just Gripply and the girls in here, but also like some frogs and stuff kind of hopping around.
Oh. How rustic.
Stop it.
Ollie and Nigel says. So yeah, you're able to settle in though. And as you're kind of like drifting off, you know, you're sitting there, you know, on your side, and you can kind of just see the two girls, you know, holding each other tightly, snuggling in, and seeming to be at peace. And you can't help but really wonder at all the shit that they've been through. I mean, it's been crazy for you, but they're kids, man. I mean, all you know is that their dad was in that strange city that fell from the sky, and he's gone, and you rescued them from a tower where they were with a Viking and a rabbit mage. It's been a time, right? And you can't help but think like there's almost a sense of pity for them, I would think.
So don't worry. Ednor will make it all better.
Okay.
And then then I'm gonna just kind of conk out, you know.
Sure.
Maybe I take one of my bracers and kind of put it under.
Make a little pillow out of it.
Yeah.
He should be fine. In Xanathar's Guide to Everything, it just says sleeping in medium or heavy armor makes it difficult to recover fully, so he would only regain a quarter of his spent hit dice. And if he was exhausted, he wouldn't recover any exhaustion points. But
I don't have any exhaustion, and I'm already full health, so
you're good. Sleep in your armor. All right. So then I think that brings us to Luna, right? Because Lycus is already fast asleep. I should mention, Ollie. As we get a camera pan up to where Ramas's grave is, Lycus is. Does Lycus curl up? Does he just splay out? What's the most comfortable position that you think he would be in?
I think
starfish.
Gotta be a pirate splay.
I think as it's going over to him, he's actually in his wolf form, and he's just kind of curled up next to the grave.
Yeah, he's kind of like werewolf, a large hulking beast. Anybody that would be kind of looking over there would just see this giant lupine form, almost, I guess, protecting. It would almost seem to be protecting that grave. All right, we move back down then to Luna. All right. Luna, what are you up to as you're starting your watch?
I think a typical scenario here would be a campfire, but considering it is
bright.
It's
at the
pretty
moment.
bright daylight. Yeah.
Um,
The rest of your crew is in the ship.
in the ship, not the tents.
Well, actually, no. Edenor is in one of the frog huts. Cress and Pim are in the ship.
I'm wherever I can sleep with or trance with Cuthbert. So
Okay, yeah,
maybe
so
on the deck of the ship.
Maybe on the
or
deck
in
of the ship.
tent.
Yeah. Deck of the ship sounds perfect. Him is down below in the crew quarters. Lycus is up. So your watch, even though you are on it, is very spread out.
Yeah.
You gotta go walk around a bit.
Yeah, you might have to go on patrol, my friend.
Patrol again.
But how would you approach this?
Well, in this case, I guess I'll try and just pass by each member and just look for a couple seconds, just like just below the creepy levels, well, like at the concerned, cautious levels.
Sure. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I get you. You know, as you're going about, you know, there's only like automata working and the odd Gripply kind of stumbling around. Everybody else seems to kind of be in bed too. But yeah, you're going by, checking them out. Roll perception checks. Just one. We'll just ride it for your general strolling.
Yeah, let's go D&D Beyond. Len, you're going to go from an 18 to 5. Oh, 18. Okay, so 30-20.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, you're able, as you're kind of walking around, you're able to kind of catch a glimpse of Cuthbert's form, just kind of peeking over the gunwale. As you're kind of going by the huts, you're able to kind of glance in and you can see a glint of Edenor's armor, which he is still wearing, as sunlight kind of pours into the hut. You can't quite see Pim because she's in the ship. And you can kind of, on your stroll, do you go up towards Lycus's way?
Could I make it there by normal? Because he was on top.
It's above the frog grove. It's not like on top of the mountain, but it's like on the slopes above.
Yeah, because I have quite some time.
Yeah, you got however many hours. Yeah, you can go up there. It takes you a little bit, but you find Lycus curled up in front of the grave of his former lover. What was your perception again? You said dirty 20?
Yeah.
Okay. You also notice as you're up there is a large tree kind of towards the back end of the cliff with kind of a hollowed out front. It looks like an individual could enter into that space, into the hollow of the tree.
Okay. Well, that sounds enticing. This is the tree that was like at the northeast side.
This is a tree. So Luna doesn't know this, but Nigel, this is the tree where Lycus was storing his frog wine. Yeah.
Oh.
So Luna doesn't know that, but
yeah.
Nigel, you know that.
I think I think out of curiosity, just realize he's okay, so I'll just take a little stroll to peek inside.
Okay. Peeking inside, you see there's like a hollowed out, like a dug up kind of section towards the back of the hollowed out tree. Some dirt over it, but you can see the remnants of like partially buried caskets. Something that would kind of, house the wine that he and his frog friends were producing. Also in here, though, you see what looks to be kind of like some makeshift, like Luna's got a very good investigation, right? And you're a very smart individual. You can see that it looks like this is like handicrafts, right? There's little makeshift knives. There is a spool of fabric. Not a spool, really, more of like a sectioned, cut up piece of fabric. It looks like someone has been working to embroider or craft something onto this length of fabric in here.
Okay. To be frank, I'm trying to... Did I see those caskets?
Yeah, you see the caskets. You have dark vision. It's not a huge space. You can see them like partially buried. It's dark in here.
Oh, which means they're sealed.
Yeah. It's a little damp in here too.
I was gonna try use the decanter and replace it with water.
I mean, you could try.
No, there's a wolf outside. He'll hear me. I think. Okay, just. I think taking a look around. I'm gonna make my way to. So by the Frog Grove, there's that like cliffside sort of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
After having a good feel for where my party members are, I think I'll go there and I'm gonna practice a few forms for my blade song while trying to decipher that new spell.
Sure. So I think the section of the town that you're going to, I'm understanding, is where Talk is supposed to be constructing the watchtower, right? So as you,
because I think I remember there was like a cliffside, like where I parked initially.
Here,
I parked below it, but above it there's like a little overlook.
We've moved you over to the map. You can just point wherever. I mean, you can easily get to wherever you want to get to practice your blade song. But people may
actually
or may not
no, yeah,
notice
you're right. This is a better spot. So yeah. So this is where Lycus is now already.
No, Lycus is not there. He's just there on the map. That's just where we left him.
So yeah,
but he's not there.
Pretty much, yeah, around there.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, you get to work. You practice your blade song. Roll a performance check.
Ooh, first performance check, and it's.
He's frozen. Nigel, no!
Oh gosh.
Yep, the suspense.
Yep, you were frozen. What'd you get?
It is almost done. It is.
Ding, ding, ding.
It was going to be another dirty 20, but yeah, it switched to a 4.
Total 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so your practice isn't perfect, right? The snake body that you are kind of like currently changing into makes you feel unnatural. You don't really feel like you fit in your skin at the moment, and it's translating to your martial arts. You still feel this kind of strange emptiness, this hollowness, this hunger, and it messes with your mind, which in turn messes with your body. And as you do this, as you kind of practice and you're kind of finding yourself missing steps, right? You start to just think about what she would think if she saw you right now. You start to think about just the look of disappointment on her face as she would watch you stumble through the form. And as you look up, standing at the edge of the cliff, you see a high elf woman, lithe form, silver cloak with red trims, her hair in a long, flowing mane. She has a long katana at her hip, and she just stares at you.
What are you doing here? You're only supposed to be inside my head. You haven't. Are you there? Is that you? Are you real?
Face regards you silently. Steps down. Steps towards you. You can't hear the footfalls. She stands about 10 feet in front of you and takes a lean on her back heel and tilts her head. And you can tell that she's inviting you to try to strike.
I'll pull up my rapier. This is the first You know, I did try searching for you once. Then I realized it was just hopeless. You left me. Now I'll show you how much better I got without your help. And I'll go in for a swing.
All right, roll an attack roll.
A 12 to hit.
You lunge forward. Describe your attack for us.
So first, take out the rapier.
Mhm.
Start doing some bouncings to get loose, and I'll run forward with it sort of horizontal along my chest, and then I'm going in for a direct just slash going diagonally from lower hip to right shoulder.
Okay. As the slash comes out, you watch as you come forward, the blade, there's a flash. And even for a moment, it blinds even you, as it is light just reflecting off your sword. And you can tell that your strike was focused as it could be in this situation, but you knew that it was off. You knew the second you drew that blade, this wasn't going to land. And you knew that she knew. And as the blade kind of flies through, and you know it misses, you just hear a voice in your ear. Pitiful. And as you finish the stance, you look around, and she's gone.
Yeah, I'll look around, like just, heavily panting, trying to see if she maybe move somewhere, and I'll just that moment fall to my knees and just realize that I'm still not at her level, and then I'll yell out. Start to like tear up a little and just say, I'm not pitiful. Yeah. Just repeating it. I'm good enough. I just stay there for a little bit to recollect myself. Yeah, I go back to the cliffside, I guess. Just think about what just happened. That'll be it for me for now.
Okay. Everybody else is asleep. So are we good to call that the end of your watch?
I think so. I guess I'll start to walk back to the tent towards the end of it.
Did you guys decide who is going to be second watch? Cress's second watch. Okay.
Yeah, I think Luna and Cress are just doing 4 hours each.
All right. Cress, during your trance, would you like to make an attempt to dreamwalk?
They do, and they're holding on to the bridle that Anatole gave them, and they're trying for him again.
Right.
It's good. It's a 17 plus the I think 10 because he's familiar and they have an item.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Do you mind if I let everybody keep their headphones on to this one?
Sure.
All right. So, Cress, you extend outwards, using the bridle as a focus to find your friend Anatole, to discover his consciousness dwells within the realm of dreams. And as you extend outwards, you find that you are able to come across his consciousness. You've done it before, and your ritual was successful. Except this entry to the dream feels different than others. As the space kind of coalesces in layers, as reality kind of constructs itself around you, you know this place. This is a lush forest of huge, proud trees, striking, vibrant leaves, dark soils dotted with wide ferns.
The ironwood?
No. As you look around, you look past the trees, past the mists in the canopy, and beyond you see not a sky, but a sheet of elder glass. You see rough-hewn, multifaceted face, right? Crystals, and it kind of plays across the surface, all light range spectrums of cool ranges between greens and purples. And as you come into the dream, you find that you are standing already in hip-high water, in a small pond. Before you, on the embankment, you see a listless, moaning sea lion, kind of knocking its paw on the ground, and you see Anatole as he stands near its head, his hand stroking its back, his ear pressed up against the chest, as he's listening intently as the creature takes these shuddering breaths. And he sees you enter. He sees you standing there, and he gawks at you, and he goes, "Are you just going to stare at us all day, or you want to help us through this thing?"
Do I think that I'm in his dream?
You can definitely make, like, that's not a hard leap for you. Like this, you can tell that all the other dreams you've entered into, you were not already there. But in this case, yes, he was already dreaming of you.
Yeah, come on, let's go. They pop out of the pool, and I think just there's an extra beat while they sidle up next to him, and they just stare at his face. There's no red.
No red. He looks like the Anatole you remember. He is lean, muscled, the build of someone who practices martial arts, the build of a warrior, but always matching his physical prowess are his deep-set, storm gray eyes that you know are always calculating things. He's always measuring things. And his long hair is kind of bound as he kind of keeps it out of the way. And he's, just listening intently to the creature. Easy there, easy. Come on.
Is it Volmar?
It is not. This one appears to be female.
Okay.
And he's kind of stroking its back, and he goes, "Do you have any idea what's wrong with her?"
Do I have any idea what's wrong with her?
Roll a medicine check.
Okay. 11 plus 5, 16.
16. So this is a dream. What do you think is wrong with her?
I think given recent experiences, if Cress is influencing this dream at all, she's severely dehydrated.
Okay. Yeah. So he kind of strokes and looks at her. What do you think?
I think we can fix this pretty easy. Come here. And I think instead of looking at this pond, they get him to stand and look up at his face, this towering figure. And they, much like their first time casting Create Water, they pull him into a dance in which they create this pure fountain together as they dance in front of this sea lion. And as they enact this moment of creation, they just look up at his face. Are you okay?
Sitting with you, looks down at you, looks at you, all perplexed almost. Sam, how are you doing? You all right? You're stepping across the plane, stepping across the water, and the shape forms and moves to the sea lion. The two shapes kind of caress and hold on to the lion. There's a soft glow. As he kind of pulls back in the step, looks at you questioningly. Are you okay?
I miss you. And I'm worried about you.
See him kind of begin to stare intently at you.
The tattoos are there, things that have never been there before.
Yeah.
I don't know how long this is gonna last, so I just have to say it. I learned things about myself. I know I told you before, but I think you thought I was a specter. I was kidnapped by the Illithid. I learned that I might be a Kalishtar. I can walk in dreams and I can try and talk to you, but only if... It's not gonna go very far if you don't want to talk to me. And I know that you've been... I don't know what you've been through, but I know it has to have been hard, and I'm sorry. You told me once in a dream that you weren't the king anymore, and... You didn't want me to follow you, but I just have to tell you that I will follow you anywhere. I love you so much, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't save you.
At this point, the two of you are in like a embrace, right? He's got his hands at your elbows, right? And the two of you are kind of like staring at each other. And you see him staring into you. Roll an insight check at advantage.
Insight. Uh, 22.
22. You stare into his eyes, and he stares back into yours, and you realize it's hard to tell what emotion he feels right now. There's a flurry in his mind. He's not sure how he feels right now, and he's looking at you, just staring at you. Unable to say your name as he stares at you. As he kind of keeps his eyes locked on you. Spectre.
Anatole, it's Cress.
So you say.
I do.
And as you see him, you can feel a change in him. As he kind of almost shifts.
They keep holding him, and they say, if you kill me here, I'll be dead forever, so if that's what you fucking want, do it.
His arms, where you grip, start to radiate heat. Along his face, along the jaw lines, along the sides of his nose, his teeth grow in fangs, and you see a dull red mark start to etch across his features as he looks down upon you.
They don't leave him, they just raise a hand to his face.
Well, you certainly are daring, I'll give you that. What are you? And do be honest with me.
My name is Cressida. They're an estuary near Orome. You saved me. You're the only friend I've ever had. You're the only one who really knew me before Lukavir. We spent a century taking care of each other.
As you say this, Cress, as he continues to stare into you, you feel you can know with your previous insight, you know that this is not the same person that was at the beginning of the dream, that there's been a shift. And as that shift has occurred, you see the forest around you begin to burn, catch flame. Branches begin to shatter. The elder glass ceiling above you begins to turn from those purples and greens into oranges, reds, ambers that kind of cascade across the surface of it, almost like there is lava beyond that glass. And as he looks down upon you, kind of leans back, and suddenly the dream itself darkens, and you hear he stops and he turns, and you see another individual enter from the darkness. You see a tall, lanky sea elf, sharp features. His ears are sharp, his nose is sharp, his chin is sharp, his eyes are sharp.
At Pascal.
That is Pascal, as he kind of slides into the dream from the darkness beyond. As the darkness kind of is now closed in on yourself and Anatole, where the features beyond the glass, after you got that glimpse of it, it's disappeared, and now it is just pure black, and it's just the three of you lit in light. And he looks and he goes, "Your Majesty, did we not have an agreement?" He looks to Pascal. "Very well. I trust the voice of my advisor." And
Can I do something?
Yeah, absolutely.
In this darkness, they look at Pascal and they kind of roll their eyes. "I don't know what you agreed upon." I see the destructive tendencies here as they witnessed everything burning. And they just start to regrow the earth anew around them. The darkness starts to fill as they take hold of their ability to construct dreams. And they start recreating the island that they would go to with Anatole, this lush, verdant place, this natural spring. "I am going to do this to the real world if you motherfuckers don't get in my way. You can be a fucking part of it, Pascal, but you gotta stick up your ass bigger than I just knew Azafest. So unless you can get over it, I don't know how you're gonna be a part of it. But it's beautiful. There's this natural stream trickling. The water drips past our faces, the spray of the ocean, and these leaves rustling. There's bird song.
You make this reality take place. And as it kind of comes up, Anatole looks at it, an eyebrow arches. With your previous insight check, you can tell he's curious. He's surprised as he kind of takes measure of it all. Pascal, on the other hand, sees it and his lips tighten to the point where his already pale, almonastic features almost look like they turn gray. And you can feel something push back against your vision. You hear Varen's voice and goes, "Chris, he doesn't belong here. He's not part of this dream. He's going to resist you." I need a contested wisdom check.
Wisdom!
As Pascal and you are both...
Sing my inspiration, because I gotta what?
Okay.
Fuck that. Okay, wisdom?
Wisdom.
Just straight wisdom?
So yeah, D20 plus your wisdom modifier.
24.
Taking a picture, because he did roll.
Natural one.
He did roll a natural 20.
Of course.
So what's the total?
The total, his wisdom, is 22. So sorry, not his wisdom is 22. His total is 22. His
I
wisdom
figured. I
modifier
was
is
like,
+2. He actually has a 42 on his roll.
Yeah.
No, so 22. So you do actually beat him. There is momentary resistance. You see him as your vision kind of takes control, right? You see him kind of almost like stumble back involuntarily. His eyes harden as he looks at you, right? Anatole takes notice of the contest, and you can
why
tell.
don't you want this, Pascal? Do you want the world to burn? Is that what you fucking want?
What
I thought you were
want,
smart.
What I want, what I have always wanted, is to serve my lord.
Jesus fucking Christ. Not that he exists.
Figure speech.
Figure speech.
He's just a level 20 adventurer.
Pascal extends a hand out to you, Cress. He goes, give me a moment, and perhaps we can come to some kind of understanding.
I'm not letting go of Anatole. They'll take his hand. They're still holding on to Anatole.
Take his hand. I need a wisdom saving throw, or you can choose to fail. You can always choose to fail, just saying.
Ooh, do I have an inkling of what's happening here? I think he's a dreamwalker, right?
Roll. I'm gonna do this. Let me pull up the Varen stat block. I want you to roll for a Arcana check from Varen. I want to see if Varen
I don't think
has.
Varen's smart.
Let's see. Hang on.
It's a 9 on the dice.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna cut it. I gotta pull up this. I'm still looking for the stat block, but that's probably not gonna cut it. Oh, actually, we're okay. Varen is familiar with this magic. So as he reaches out to his hand, right, and you feel kind of this draw, this pull, right, this sort of like kinetic energy just where your hand meets his, right? Varen goes, Cress, he's trying to pull you back to your own dream.
They'll look at Anatole, get onto their tiptoes, kiss his cheek. I'll try to see you again. And then they'll let Pascal take them.
As you are being pulled away, as you kiss his cheek, it almost burns to do it. It almost burns to get that close, right? So this is, you do this, but it does take effort. You take 2 fire damage. But as you let go, you see him looking at you, and he is, the amount of conflict within him is hard to fathom as you are pulled from the dream, and you are pulled into what you know is going to be your own dream. But as you get there, it is a similar, just straight dark space at the moment. It's you and Pascal standing in that dark space. The two of you are lit by some unknown source. And he looks at you and he goes, you need to be careful with your powers over him. I am
don't
trying
have
to
fucking power over him.
You've always had power over him. If you're not careful, you are gonna break everything he's been working on.
Fucking enlighten me.
I don't know if I should. How do I know you are who you say you are? The world.
How's this magic work? You gotta know
you-
the person, I imagine.
Oh, the spell. No. My magic is mine. I want to know how you are here. What was this I heard you say about Kalishtar?
You heard correct.
So you know the quarry?
A singular.
Hmm. Do you swear that you are indeed Cressida Orome?
Pascal, you're the only one who would fucking talk to me outside of all them bitches. And yeah, you were always an asshole, but we were fucking honest with each other. It's still goddamn me.
Hmm. I looks at you, and you can tell that this Pascal, you've known Pascal to always be curious. You've known Pascal to always be calculating. You've never before sensed cruelty in him. Until now. As he kind of looks you over.
What happened to you?
The world ended, in case you didn't notice.
I did, thanks.
Tell you what, I'll give you a chance to prove that you are who you say you are.
You royal cunts are all the same. I don't owe you shit.
Maybe not me, but you do owe him. Do you know what he gave up? Looking for you for all those months? All that time?
When was he looking for me? He told me to go looking for things. I don't understand. Don't, they slap him.
Yeah. You kind of go, he's gonna roll an attack roll.
Okay. That is an 18 minus 2.
Okay, I was gonna say, so you hit. What's the damage?
0.
Okay, it's just more sass and
making
sting.
a point. Yeah.
Yes.
It makes a squeaky noise as it hits.
Well, maybe you are who you say you are.
You're so clever. You got it right away. I'm so proud of you. You're a magnificent mind. Pascal, what the fuck is happening?
That is my business. And if you want to know, then come to Dameril in 10 days' time. And if you're there, then maybe I'll begin to believe you.
How far away am I from Dameril?
Roll a survival check.
Yeet. 12.
Okay. With a 12, 10 days, you think, just doing the math in your head, is close to pushing it. But you'll need to sit down in front of a map to get an accurate estimate, but you know it may not be impossible, but it's close.
Okay. I think they're gonna be honest
especially
with him.
Again, calculating Cuthbert's flight, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the south of the Whispering Jungle. It's gonna take me probably more than 10 days.
Well, 10 days is all it's going to take me. And we're working on my time.
You're such a bitch. God. All right. I imagine you don't want the world to burn, do you? There is a sincerity that hasn't been here to this point.
Roll a persuasion check. That looks like a good roll.
21.
21. He kind of backs away, feeling his face. It's not my vision that I am looking to make a reality, but his. And if he wants the world to burn, then I'm going to be the one gathering the tinder. And if he wants to save the world, then I will be right behind him nonetheless. but it is my job. Make no mistake, whoever you are, that I am protecting him. And you need to be careful with your powers. Do you know what it's like for him to see you in the dream again? Do you know what he gave up to have those dreams?
No.
Well,
I don't.
let me just tell you that if you keep doing what you're doing, you might well cause more harm than good. After your visions last night, why, I thought he was stark raving mad. Came up complaining about you haunting him once again. Couldn't rest the rest of that night, you know.
I've never known you to be a mindless follower. What the fuck happened?
Like I said, the world ended, and we all gotta find a way to make our own way forward. And as far as
Do you have
I'm
a favorite
concerned,
place?
I do, but
Before
I
the
don't
world
see.
ended.
Before the world ended? Of course I did.
Where?
My favorite place was... No. You know what? I don't need to tell you. I don't need to trust you. Damerel, 10 days. And the dream shatters around you. And you awaken. Cuthbert at your side nudges you. Luna, it is around this time that you are coming back, and you can see up on the deck Cuthbert shifting. You can't quite tell if Cress is awake, but you can roll a perception check. Cress, when you wake, what do you do?
They look up at Cuthbert. They're silent, but there's just tears streaming down their face. We might have to go.
What's your perception, Luna?
11.
What was it?
11.
Are you being subtle, Cress? Are you trying to whisper to Cuthbert, or are you speaking out loud?
I don't think they're trying actively to be stealthy.
Okay, then Luna, you can hear, I'll say you can hear Cress speaking, but you'll need to get closer if you want to hear the actual details.
I'll start to approach if it sounds actual, like if it's approaching concerning levels.
They sound frantic as they're talking to Cuthbert. They're going, I need to start over. All right. Pascal was in the dream and he shouldn't have been, and Anatole was there. And they're going to Dameril in 10 days. And I don't know if we can get there in fucking 10 days, but I think we need to, or something terrible is going to happen to Anatole. Or he's going to do something terrible. I think he might already be doing something terrible. I don't know. I need a map. They're gonna, who would have a map? The quartermaster, the captain?
Quartermaster, captain, or like a world map? Yeah, quartermaster or captain.
Fuck. They turn around like kind of in a daze and head toward the quartermaster's door to knock.
Okay. Luna, I will give you an opportunity to
I think
hop in here. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're on top of the ship, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I think hearing the franticness of it, I would have used the Ziggy hook to try and get there quickly enough, and then just be in almost like battle mode to look around if is there something going on here.
Yeah, Cress, as you're making your way after speaking with Cuthbert, you hear the zzz, of the Ziggy hook, and you hear Luna, and you see weapon ready.
Luna.
What's wrong?
Well, nothing's wrong here. Everything's fine. But I need a world map.
Okay. One of these captains should have it.
Yeah, I'm thinking the quartermaster. They'll go and knock on the quartermaster's door.
Sure. Yeah. So you head on in below decks, Luna.
Yeah.
Yourself and Cuthbert up on the deck.
I'll go along. I'll follow along.
Okay. Luna, there is, as Cress makes their way down the stairs, turns and enters into the ship itself.
Oh.
Right? There's a pause.
You look like to have this. Maybe I'll keep Cuthbert company. And I'll go back and I guess I'll give him, a little pet, for example.
Sure. Yeah.
No,
I remember the first meeting of Cuthbert was quite spectacular. So Cuthbert does bear a measure of respect for you. Cress, you are making your way through the halls of the ship, making your way to the quartermaster's lodgers. Pim, you are on the ship. You are sleeping, but you're probably in that maybe half wake phase. Roll a perception check real quick. You're muted.
Sorry, my window is so small. Perception +1. It's only an 8.
8? All right, yeah. Unfortunately, you don't hear as Cress kind of steps by. All right, Cress, you were able to find the quartermaster's office, quartermaster's quarters. You enter in. There is a table, right? There's a wooden table, not ornately carved or anything quite like flintlocks. There is a sofa on the side, and in that sofa you see Cassius, and cuddled next to Cassius is Mello. And as you step into the room, you kind of the door kind of clamps open. Cassius immediately draws a pistol.
Don't shoot. I'm sorry, I should have knocked. Can I use your map?
Map? Yeah. Help yourself. Jesus.
Thank you. Sorry.
Jesus.
They'll just grab the world map.
Yeah.
And cartography tools and head back up to the top deck.
All right. Pim, I'm going to give you another chance as they're heading back up.
God fucking damn it. Natural 1.
Sorry, no.
Do I have it?
Cress
no, I don't have inspiration. Fuck.
Do you not?
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, Cress is moving on tippy toes, light as fast as we can. Cress, you come back out onto the deck. There is Luna and Cuthbert waiting you on the deck.
Luna, do you have any idea of how long it might take? They're stammering as they lay it out. How long it might take to get to Damriel from here? And they start measuring.
Does this map have the, unit of measurement to have an idea of, 1 cm equals X?
Yeah, there's a scale. Let's just roll the checks and I'll tell you what it works out to be.
I'm proficient with cartographer's tools.
And you can roll at it. So add your proficiency bonus. Take it at advantage with Luna's assistance.
Ooh. Okay. 19.
19. With a 19, you can tell that as Cuthbert could fly from here to there, would approximately take about 8 days. But that would be 8 days of
8 perfect days.
Of 8 perfect days. It could be okay, if you push it, maybe it'll take you about 6.5. you'd gain like a little bit of time, but you'd basically gain like a unit per.
The safest
dash.
thing is to go now. To go today. Luna. If you knew that someone you love was alive and in peril, would you do anything to save him?
This reminds me of what I used to be told. One of my only friends back in Azafes used to tell me a story or a lesson of, do I know the difference between a hero and a villain? Hero will sacrifice it. Hero will sacrifice you to save the world. Villain will sacrifice the world to save that person who's special to them. So I understand this. If you have someone out there to go and help and they're that important to you, if it was me, I would go. Because they mean more to you than everyone else.
I'm afraid that if I don't go, they will do something to hurt the world.
You have a time
10
limit
days.
to get to Damaro?
Damaro.
I guess I'll calculate in my head to know if that's possible or not.
Possible.
See every equation.
Yeah.
The math.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, Luna, easily. You also watch Crest do the thing as well, so you're familiar with the calculations and stuff. You've also seen Cuthbert move and stuff. Yeah, you know it's possible, but things have to go really well.
I would still try. Having regrets in this world is just, it'll eat at you alive.
I regret everything.
Well, then don't add to the counter. What is that? Do you have to now?
I don't know.
You
Probably.
have to at least we at least have to tell.
Yeah.
Just for a crew.
Fuck. Yeah. Fuck.
I'm new to. I haven't had a friend in a while, but I'm gonna go in for a hug, and you might see it too, but eyes are a little waterlogged from before and getting there as well.
They hug her tight. I think seeing
You both
that.
get inspiration for hugging.
Oh, hug inspiration. They'll just say to her, "It seems like you're going through it too, and I'm sorry."
Used to having friends go away, but at least you're going on your own free will. And I know you'll be okay.
As they hug her, just kind of coming out of the experience and remembering the world around them, they, as they're hugging, they cast Lesser Restoration on Luna.
Luna, your skin pulls back together as the scales slide off of your knuckles. You can't see it, but your eyes from the outside of the iris towards the inside turn back to normal, and as you kind of blink and look back up, your sight is normal. Your body, which was starting to feel pretty cold, is still a bit chilly, but not quite, as the curse of the Brood Guard is lifted off of you.
I think that yeah, start to tear up a bit more.
I think still hugging her. Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry. You first.
While you're gone, I'll try and find. I know there's magic out there that does that at least let me stay in touch.
That sounds really nice.
So as soon as I get that, I'll reach out.
Maybe there's something in Damriel that'll be good for you. One of those scrolls I can't fucking read.
That would be.
Keep an eye out.
That would be great. That would be most delightful. I can't have enough of them. Okay, let's go find the crew and let's tell them. Yeah. Let's go.
They'll squeeze her hand. And no more regrets.
I'll try my best.
I'll keep it as a goal. You keep it too.
And maybe when we call each other, we could say how we kept it going.
Yeah, that sounds really nice.
So you know, Luna, where everybody is, right? You make your way around. Do you split up to go wake up individuals, or do you guys want to just jump to those scenes where you're getting them?
We can go together, but
Yeah.
Him is in the ship.
Him is in the ship.
Probably get her first then.
Then I'll just make sure, because I can't remember if I've been on this ship, so I'll just ask you as we go, like, is it okay if I go in here?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
They let us stay here the first night. I know that you were having a hard time that night.
Correct. You're right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine, Pim. She might take this kind of hard as well.
I know. Yeah, they'll run down the stairs. Pim?
Luna and Chris both. Yeah, you find Pim resting in a hammock in the crew's quarters.
Pim.
Deeply.
The mania.
What? What's wrong? What's wrong?
It's all gonna be okay.
What are you talking about?
I think Anatol's gonna be in Damriel in 10 days. And he might do something real bad, and there's a lot happening. I know Granny might be there, and I have to try and get there. I'm sorry, you just woke up. We have to wake up everybody, I think, maybe.
Wait. I'll go with you. I can go with you.
Yeah?
Yeah. You can't do that alone.
How far is Damriel from Muldan Ordan?
Damriel from Muldan Ordan is probably 7 days, 6.5.
Okay.
Yeah, from where you guys are to Muldan Ordan is about a day and a half. And then up beyond that.
It might be taking you so far away from your mother.
Oh. Right. I don't understand. How do you know this? How do you know all this?
Do you remember when I visited you in your dream?
Yes.
I did that with Anatole and someone else was there. I don't know if you ever met him. Pascal. Another one of those soldiers. Real shit.
Yeah, I remember Pascal. He was really mean to me.
He was really mean to everyone, don't take it personal. He showed up.
What was he doing there?
I don't know. It was some sort of magic. And he told me to be in Dameril in 10 days.
What's gonna happen, though? I
don't know.
understand. What about the hunt? What about the raptor? We need you.
I want to be there. Anatole felt like he was on fire. And in the dream, everything turned to fire. I'm worried that if I don't go, he'll set everything ablaze.
Cress, I'm really scared.
They hug her. I know, me too. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sweetie.
I don't know what I'm gonna do without you.
I think I'll chime in because you mentioned dream walking. Is this what sort of magic? I'm unfamiliar.
I'm really new to it. I'm pretty unfamiliar too.
You trust everything that happens during these moments of dream walking?
Ben Zayed, Fadril, told me it was real, something that I could do. I'm not as religious as Ednor, or even you, but I don't think the God of creation was lying to me.
I haven't. It comes down to faith, I would presume. I'm not familiar with dream walking, but yeah. Okay.
I know it's malleable. I know it's mutable. Pascal is able to get into Anatole's dream too. But I do believe that I have someone kind of with me named Varen, who's a lot more well versed in it, and Varen said that I was being pulled out of one dream into another. I don't know much about Quarry. I don't know what's happening. But
Or you're attached to the Kalishtar.
I don't know who my father was, but I think he maybe wasn't a sea elf.
That would explain some things.
As you guys are talking and digesting this information, working it out, you hear the voice of Zarnir Stormbrow, the Minotaur. Do you have to do this in here? I'm trying to sleep.
Sorry.
Let's maybe go on the deck, or let's get the others.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw a side comment as we're walking out. It's really tough talk for a guy who couldn't throw a stone 5 feet.
Savage. Damn, man.
Oh, brutal.
How loud do
That
you
was
say
a
this?
critical hit. God damn it.
Him fully giggles at that. That was funny.
Zarnia gets disadvantage on his next ability check.
When is Luna learn vicious mockery? Fuck.
I love that.
Shit, dude.
As we're walking out, I look to Luna and I say, Luna, you look like yourself again.
Chris was able to fix it.
Cress, I really don't know what we're gonna do without you, Cress.
You are gonna be fine. You are so strong. The maniacal. You're the strongest person I know.
Doesn't feel like that sometimes. But thank you.
I think a part of strength is knowing that it isn't a constant. You know yourself.
Hey, you can communicate with people over long distances, right?
In dreams.
And is it easier when you have something of theirs?
Yeah, that's how I talk to your father.
Pim is going to... She's got all these colorful sashes tied around her waist, and she's going to take off the blue one and tie it into a little bow and just give it to them and say, you can hang out with me in my dreams anytime. You know that.
Thank you for the invitation. It means the world. They will attach this bow to the jacket they wear. Who the fuck is the closest? Edenor? Where are we?
Yeah,
Edenor.
wait. Where are they? I didn't see where they went even.
That's true, I don't know.
As you guys leave the ship with Luna to guide you, we're gonna take a break.
Okay.
We are gonna pick up just as Cress, Pim, and Luna are disembarking from the wild hunt, off to find your other crew members. But before we do, Lycus, you say, you stir to wakefulness, right? It's you're outside, right? So the wind is blowing. You can hear it just kind of like humming in your ears as it kind of whistles through the trees, and you just kind of perk up. You find yourself asleep at the grave, at the foot of the grave. It's a dark sentence.
He shifts back down to his regular body, his usual body, and he looks at the black tooth that he kept from the skull that disappeared.
Yeah, in your palm. There it is.
Well, Rami, I guess those stories were not bullshit. And I'm apparently not a very good pirate. And he just tucks that into a pocket and pulls out his bag and pulls out a canvas sheet covered in salt, unwraps it and pulls out a heart and digs a little hole next to Rami's grave and sets it down in there. I'm sorry. I was gonna try to use you two. I guess maybe they learned that from me. And just thinking about the people who were on his crew before, when he was with Rami and Madame Zadek,
Yeah.
and thinking this could have been any of the half-orcs that were with them at that time, not knowing who. I'm so sorry. And he just kind of turns over to Rami's grave. You know, you're a real piece of shit, man. You're the one who wanted to go out to be a hero. That's some bullshit. How did it... I don't know why I didn't notice when you guys were changing. I was distracted or scared. I'm not gonna ignore things like that again. And I can't promise that I'm gonna be a hero because, well, I'm me. But I'm gonna be so great that no one remembers the horrible things you did. They'll just remember that you were my lover. And he just kind of sits there and cries for a little while, not really paying attention as he starts to cry, as he's just kind of letting go of this aggression. I think his astral self appears for the first time since his encounter with the court, and it is this young version of himself when he was just a boy, a version of himself that's too young for him to remember, and it hugs him for a moment. And when it steps back, it starts to grow, and the glow changes from just the usual purple to purple with these highlights of gold as he looks up and he sees a bigger, stronger version of who he is now. This one has gold in places where it's clear that his wolf form has fused more casually with his body. His arms and his legs have this golden fur on them, parts of his hair and his face, but he's still clearly himself. And he reaches down or up at his own astral self and pulls himself up. And he looks over to Rami's grave. You know, I'm finally starting to feel like my body is right. And yeah, he's just going to let the astral self disappear before deciding I should probably go be a captain. I'll do a patrol or something, I don't know. And he's going to walk away.
As you walk away, the astral form kind of fades away into the wind. Roll a perception check at advantage for smell.
That's an 18 on the die.
That's a good roll. That's a good roll.
23.
All right, 23. By the way, I forgot to say, take inspiration, dude. Awesome roleplay.
Thank you.
With a 23, as you're walking away, you catch a whiff of a familiar scent. The scent of Yoma and Sarah, the kids. You get just a faint whiff coming from the tree hollow.
I think he stops and just goes, well, maybe have a moment to be have a little fun before I go off and do chores. And he hops over to the tree to see if he smells them, is thinking maybe they're taking a sip of my wine.
Mm-hmm. You come in, you enter in, and you can see with your sense of smell, with your excellent check, you can also get a lingering scent of Luna. You know, Luna was also here at one point. but you also can you come in and you see what looks to be like the room previously described. Wine kind of buried partially in the casks in the back towards of the hollow, and then an art and crafts area where it looks like someone was working on. As you look at it, you can recognize the shape. It looks like a Jolly Roger. It looks like someone was working on a flag.
Yeah. How
It's
far
crude.
along? Right.
Sorry. Yeah.
What you said it's crude. So like, how far along is it? Is it just a shape?
Yeah, it's mostly a shape for now. The outline is there. They haven't filled it in or anything. But it is a skull with kind of like a sweep off the head, sharp kind of shapes, geometric shapes over the eyes, and then a pair of wings, kind of going off the back of the skull.
With this Jolly Roger lifted up, he just smiles. I love these kids. Yeah, I think he's going to, at least for a little while, maybe add to it. He's going to try to work on it.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
yeah.
Let's see. Let me just take a look at something here. How are you adding to it? And then we can decide what your role is going to look like.
I, weirdly enough, am proficient in like glass blowing tools.
I was looking at exactly that at the moment. So if you can figure this out, man, we can talk.
And I have no idea why that's a thing that my character's proficient in, but I like it.
I'm in it.
But from what I understand, a large part of that is being able to, instead of dye things, it's incorporating color through like,
Sure.
It depends on what's around, but being able to use some of the tools that normally they're meant to like hold these blazing hot things, but use it to
Sure.
Almost press into the fabric, sort of like when you press a flower
Sure.
into something and it leaves a stain.
Sure. Yeah. I got you. So actually, as you look around, not only are there these crafts tools and the half-finished project, but you also actually do see several bushels of herbs and stuff. It looks like a mortar and pestle. Like someone was actually already making dyes out of some of the plants collected. Yeah. So yeah, actually, so that's actually there already. So if you wanted to try to color this thing, absolutely go for it.
Yeah, I think he's going to add some color to it.
Sure.
With he wants to color in the wings this vibrant purple, and fill in the skull with a blue.
A la Edanor's wings kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, reminiscent of the ocean itself.
Nice.
Yeah, I think.
All right.
That's what he spends a bit of time before he.
Sure. Okay. Roll a. I'm going to call this dexterity check, right? I'm going to treat this almost like a sleight of hand, which I think you actually are proficient in already, so it's not going to really make too much of a difference, but we'll give you an advantage because that stuff was already, we were kind of on the same vein there too, and I like that.
Perfect. That is a total of, you said with sleight of hand? Or just...
Sleight of hand, yeah.
All right, then that's an 18.
18, yeah. Yeah, you are successful, my friend. You were able to dye this thing appropriately. All right, and as you kind of have that now in your possession, it is going to take a little bit to dry and stuff still, but it is colored.
Perfect.
As described.
Cool.
Right.
Then there's just one last thing that he does
Sure.
before he leaves. Is there just wood around?
Yeah, like branches and stuff, or are you talking like worked wood, like planks and 2x4s and shit?
I think a plank would be easiest.
Maybe would be easiest.
Even if it's like one of the casks of wine, he would
Sure.
take off the lid and just try to do something with that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's going
Have
to
at it.
take that and head off on his way while using his claws to maybe try to whittle something.
Sure. Okay. Roll another sleight of hand check as you're going.
Even better. 19.
All right, you are successfully whittled. We'll reveal what you've whittled as you're making your way back to the Frog Grove down the hill. The rest of the crew, you all arrive outside of the Gripply hut, in which Edenor currently resides with the kids. Right, Edenor is fast asleep on the couch. Not the couch, the ledge. Right, but the three of you and Cuthbert are there.
It looks so precarious. Edenor.
Yes, Crass. How may I assist you? I should probably get out of here before I wake anyone up.
I don't want to wake the kids, yeah.
Put my bracer back on. And like slowly get off of my ledge and work my way out.
Stealth check.
Oh, grand. That is another 9.
It's another nat one. Yo,
These kids are tired.
Man, they
Yo.
are sleepy in this
They're
hut.
sleeping off the frog
by the
line.
same
Yeah,
numbers.
that is-
Like, that's
I know.
nuts.
Yeah, that's funny.
Because I had disadvantage on the damn thing. Otherwise, I would have gotten an 11. But
Yeah. Well, no, you were
Ooh.
able to the three of you, right? He's like, armor grinding along the stone, right? But the Gripply and the kids, out like a light. Don't even notice.
just a giant snot bubble on one of the Gripplies. Just
Yeah. You just matched a snoring like point for point.
Yeah.
That picture.
uh,
All right, yeah. So you are
so I
out
come
without
in the
waking
open.
anyone.
Yes. Well, it looks like we're almost all here. What's going on?
Yeah, we have to find Lycus. I have to go.
You have to leave.
Yes.
As in, we all need to leave, or do you have a mission tasked to you?
I don't want to take you. I don't think we really need to find Lycus.
Okay, let's find Lycus, and then we can explain as a group.
You all turn to make your way up the hill towards the gravesite. The dust blows and a silhouette emerges first, and then shortly after that, that silhouette reveals itself to be Lycus de Stratus, with bundles tucked under his arm and a plank of something whittled in his hand.
Found him.
All right, great. So I have to leave. And to answer your question, Ignore, I need to go to Damaril, and I don't want to take Pim further from her mother. Answers that she needs.
Understood, and you plan on doing this alone?
I mean, Cuthbert's with me.
That is fair. He's a good guardian. I'm sure you'll take care of each other. Does this have to do with anything that Thadril had said to you, or?
A little bit. I told you about Anatole.
Yes.
It sounds like he will be in Damaril in 10 days' time, and something terrible might happen. So I need to make sure nothing terrible happens.
Understand, and speed is of the essence. We couldn't all quite ride on Cuthbert, that is for sure.
I think at this point, Pim is going to run up to Cuthbert and just start to say goodbye to Cuthbert and pet his little snoot.
His little snoot is broader than
Than your entire
you.
body.
As he kind of leans
You probably
forward.
fit Pim in like a nostril.
Yeah. You almost like, you go to pet and you almost like lose up to your shoulder in his nostril now.
Oh no!
He nuzzles back into you, Pim. You can tell he understands what's going on. You know he's intelligent, and he's just been kind of observing and listening. And you can tell that he you two have traveled for a while together, right? He's also kind of extended to you as an ally and a friend, a close friend. You can tell he doesn't, isn't excited about the parting, but
I say to him, Cuthbert, now you listen to me. You can't let anything happen to my Cress, okay? I know you'll look out for her, for them. I know you'll keep them safe. But I really need you to be successful. Okay?
angles down and presses the top of his snout into you, closes his eyes and exhales deeply. And you get a sense of acceptance and of compliance. You get the sense that he is understanding what you're saying.
Give him a real big hug.
He lifts you up as you're holding onto him. Your feet dangle for just a moment, and you can feel kind of the warm breath from his nostrils kind of brushing up against your legs, and he kind of like pops you up a little bit, brings you back down, sets you down lightly.
She smiles at him and just enjoys our last few moments together, all of us.
There's a very similar conversation happening with Cress and the other three. I need you to promise that you're going to take care of Pim.
We will. We will, Cress. Do not worry. I know that sounds like this is a journey that you must take and do on your own. It is, as some would say amongst my fellows, your pilgrimage. And I know you are not as interested in the gods as myself.
I'm finding myself more and more interested, Edenor.
Do not worry. One day we will have a nice long conversation when you return. And I'm sure we'll see each other yet again. This is not goodbye. This is just to see you later. And
Just so long.
and trust me, if Thadril has decided to even communicate, I would consider that a blessing upon itself. And just remember now, not only do you have us, you have the power of a dragon, you have your own power, but you also have the might of a god supporting you. So be Thadril's righteous hand and use that to assist others and strike down evil when you find it. And I understand some of my ways may be a little more black and white, but be careful out there. Don't let the world get you. That's all I'm saying. I wish you luck.
You're a good man, Edenor. He has the alm box out. I think they pull it out and put 10 gold in there. Like, I don't know if this means much, but it matters, right?
Every little bit will help. This only will go to those who are in need.
Is this the first donation to the alm box?
Nope, actually, pretty much everything that Ednor's ever gotten. So technically, Ollie gave, or Lycus gave the first donations.
Okay.
Hey, that was unaware.
Yeah, unaware, very unaware. This is the first active donation.
You deposit the coins and they come with
Yes.
a clink, clink, clink. As they
Thank you.
descend.
Yeah, so I'm trying to understand, you're gonna go save your friend?
That's the hope. Unfortunately, people might need saving from my friend.
Believe me, I understand problematic friends very well. He just kind of chuckles. This seems pretty selfish considering the world's ending. And then he looks like, no, that is not what I meant. I'm not going to do this again. I'm proud that you've decided to do a thing that makes you feel good and happy, and this feels right for you. Yes?
Is that what you think I'm doing?
You're chasing after someone that matters to you. I hope that's what you're doing.
They pluck out a tiger's eye and put it in his palm. I might be killing someone I care very much about to make sure the world doesn't burn, but you interpret things however you want. I think we're always going to talk past each other.
I hope you don't have to.
Thank you. Me too.
This doesn't really mean anything yet. And he pulls out a little wooden token, essentially, and he hands it to you. And it's just a skull with some wings around it. It, like I said, doesn't really mean anything now. But when we start stirring enough trouble, and he pulls out the flag that the kids have made, they'll know that we support you.
Thank you, Lacus.
Oh, I have one more thing that I think will help you.
And Pim pulls out the little clockwork device that she's been tinkering.
Oh,
I know that things are pretty confusing in terms of the perpetual daylight. So, we've got Luna, so I don't need this. You should have it. Keep track of time. Don't let it get away from you.
they take it very gingerly. You can see their inmost pocket over their heart. They slip it in. Thank you, Pam. They reach into their pocket and they take out a healing potion and press it into hers. You are so strong. Yes.
Thank you. Accepts it.
And they give her a kiss on the forehead. And before they head off, they go to Luna and they slip out this puzzle box, this rosewood, beautiful puzzle box. They kind of press it into her hand. And they whisper, "This belonged to my husband. I've never been able to get it open, but you're a lot smarter than me. Maybe you'll have some luck with it, or at least it'll while away some time."
I'll give it back open as a gift the next time we see each other.
Thank you, Luna.
It's okay. Fly safe.
Stay safe.
All right.
I think just while everyone's saying their final goodbyes, Pim just takes out her flute and starts playing a very nostalgic song for Cress and Pim. And it's just a little song that she used to play in the biodome as you were doing your work with the animals. She would kind of keep herself busy playing this pretty little tune. It's a happy song, and it sounds kind of twinkly and bright.
Also, Ednor, while the conversations continued after he had spoken his bit, does essentially conducted ceremony and blessed a a vial of water to cause it to become holy water, and that's going to be his gift to Cress. So.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. I am crying. What am I saying?
This is just a game, right? You're not really leaving forever.
Thank you, Ednor.
I hope it helps you on your journeys. It is but little I can give at this time, unfortunately. Wish I could give more.
Oh, it matters. Thank you.
As you all kind of stand there on the slopes of the Frog Grove, the different community, the different people in the town, the frogs, some of the crew of the Wild Hunt are now starting to go onto the deck. Talk is stretching up across the hill. Idris and Kanari have just come out of the same tent. And Cuthbert steps forward, drops a shoulder next to you, Chris.
I'll see you all again.
Until next time.
We'll keep in touch.
Two big beats of the wings thrusting downwards as Cuthbert lifts himself and Cress off the floor. Dust kind of kicks up around you both, all of you, and as you kind of back out, he makes a quick lap around, unleashes a triumphant roar, and the two of them fly off towards the north. And I think that's what we're going to call it for today, guys.
Oh,
that will be the end of our session. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is an emotional one. Hope you stick with us for some more here. Heroes of Histaeria, Sandsea Saga, and look forward to seeing Cress and Button again in other places. Stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.